Hi, my name's Mike Stoltz, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to introduce you to Pieter Ciere. He is a former and retired police officer of the Hamilton Police Service, and he's also one of the custodians of the Hamilton Police Museum. So I had a great chance to spend an afternoon with him, and Peter was kind enough to take me through the museum. So I'd like to pass it over to Peter and take you on this tour. Enjoy.
If you walk over here, you'll see a bunch of officers here from 1885. Now, this fellow here, his great-great-granddaughter came in. That's Dave Coulter. He eventually became chief. She came in and she says, "Do you have any pictures of Dave Coulter? He was my great-great-grandfather." And I said, "Hold on." I said, "I got some in my computer." Sure enough, I had 8 of them. I was thrilled to pieces. She was thrilled to pieces, and she'd never ever seen what he looked like.
Really?
And that really charges me up. Every time I get one of these, somebody will come in and say, "Hey, listen, my father was the police chief of the Hamilton Harbor Police." Hold on, I've got some pictures. And like I say, every time I get a connection like that, it continues to keep me up my interest in doing this.
Wow.
So that and then you have pictures that have stories. For instance, this is Alexander Stewart. He was the police chief of Hamilton. He was seconded by the Canadian government to go out and get Louis Riel in Manitoba. And of course, we all knew.
So he was part of that.
Louis Riel was hung for treason. If you look at this, we were the first police service to have a patrol wagon. Now, before that, if you were drunk and you had to be brought to the station, they'd use your wheelbarrow to bring you to the station.
Wow.
Now, I can well imagine some drunk guy getting all upset and there'd be a punch out on the way to the station. So, this guy, when he became chief, he had a system where you had to bring in your girlfriend if you wanted to get married.
Okay.
And he would evaluate her and see whether she was, good enough for you or
Police
you
material.
were good enough for her. And the thing was, if he said, "Okay, you got an hour off to get married."
Right.
And the other thing, there's a rumor that says that nobody got divorced in those days. Because how do you tell the chief he's wrong? And there's histories in all these guys. This guy here, Peter Ferris, he was the first guy in Hamilton ever to get a badge number. He was also...
Would that also be in Canada then too, or?
I don't know whether Canada, but I know it's in Hamilton.
Right.
So Peter Ferris was also the first guy to have a dog. A canine, and his badge number was 62.
Okay.
So we had the collar.
Oh, we'll have to have a look.
Yeah, I'll show you. And so Peter Ferris is on this wagon, and Coulter's on this wagon. So every one of these guys have a story.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Females. We were the first police service in Canada to hire police women or police as police officers.
As regular constables.
That was in 1958. And what the big scandal in those days was the chief at that time, Leonard Lawrence, said they will make the same wage as a man. And in 1958, if a man was working and did the same job as a woman, the man would get $1, the woman would get 83 cents or 73 cents.
Right.
So, that was scandalous.
Yes. But
he said they're going to do the same job, and which he did.
And did Leonard actually live here in Ancaster?
I'm not sure.
Because to be honest, my wife, her father was friends with Leonard way back when.
Oh, well,
so
Leonard Lawrence's brother was the mayor at one time. So,
oh, wow.
And he was also our longest serving police chief for 21 years. So not too many police chiefs last that long.
Yeah, it's a
As you
difficult
can
job.
see, this board is dedicated to the officers that have passed away while on the job. They were killed while on the job. And we go, or I go with someone else every year, and we go to every one of these grave sites to make
Right.
sure they're good, they're kept clean and everything else. And I'm about to do that again.
Yeah. Have you ever been to the police memorial up in Ottawa?
I've been there several times.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'll be there this September.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Toronto, I'll be there because I used to march, but I sing in our choir. I still sing in our choir, so I get to do all those kind of things. And we also have in Hamilton a memorial for everyone that has passed away last year.
Right.
We invite the families in. There's candles that they light, and we have quite a ceremony. We sing. We have the police horses outside. We have the honor guard there. Piper and so forth. We do that every year to look after the families.
Wonderful.
We also part of the Retirees Association we have in Hamilton, which is separate from the charitable organization. We also have a board members, which I used to belong to, that give a widow a phone call and say, listen, you're entitled to this, 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 and this.
Mm-hmm.
So because apparently City Hall, well, not apparently, it's true, City Hall has a stipend to help with the funeral.
I see.
And that's part of the contract that we've all had for years and years and years. So we make sure that the widows get to know that. We also have a widow's dinner. We now call it a tribute dinner. Widow's dinner where all the widows get invited to a dinner in September. And the great part of that is these are all women that have lost their husbands, or now husbands that have lost their wives. They get to know each other. And they have bonds like you wouldn't believe. Some of them, they've been together for years and years.
And I'm sure each of them have their own stories too to tell.
And that's part of my deal. I go around, like I'm still married, but I go around and go to the tables and I say, oh, what, I see their names and they say, oh, that's Bill. Hurst? Yeah, I worked with him. And then they want to know a story. Let me tell you a funny story about Bill, or we call him Diesel at work. So let me tell you a story about Diesel, and they love it. And then also gives me the opportunity to ask them if they've got anything for the museum. Please let me know. Here's my card.
Well, it is amazing how much the artifacts and things that the family will have that they have no idea that how well they're received in a museum and things like that, where many people come and see them.
Families and like I say, it's joyful for me.
Oh, wonderful.
So unfortunately, I can't be here every day. But
now I see this cinder block here. Tell me about this.
Okay, this was number 2 station, which is right there. Police station with the cornerstone. As you can see, it was 1856. It was an old stone building down at the end of Jane Street. This went missing for quite a while.
Okay.
And it turns out it was at the Ontario Police College.
Oh, okay.
And one of our rookies was down there and he says, hey, I saw this number 2 thing. He says, I thought I saw a picture at one time and it was a Hamilton thing. Sure enough. So here we have it.
Wow.
So
I guess that building is long since gone.
Oh, long gone. We also had the city give us this. This was on Rebecca Street. It's where they used to tie the horses.
Okay.
So they chopped that out of the cement for us. They said, are you interested? They phoned me and I said, yeah, I am. How many people have one of these?
Yeah, no kidding.
They're long gone. So, old uniforms, which are kind of neat because, boy, I can't imagine walking around one of those now with the hot weather.
Yeah, no kidding.
Imagine
Day like today,
that's how
especially.
we had to go. We had what we used to call number 1s.
Right.
We used to have to walk the beat with those. Now they got coats. They got
So it was
sweaters.
easy keeping a bit of weight off at that time.
I don't know. I don't know. This is some of our identification stuff. These cameras, luckily for us, we found, or I was showing this stuff at a school, and there was a couple of teachers that were really into photography. They made their own cameras, and they said, "Can we have a look at yours?" I said, yeah, come on up, have a look. So they spent a day here looking at all these, and they told me that these all work still. And some of these are well over 100 years old. This one primarily took pictures on glass negatives. So they put a piece of glass in there, they put some silver nitrate on that, because silver nitrate, as soon as it gets air, makes an image. And we have some of those glass negatives. And I've been able to change them into real pictures,
Wow.
which is kind of neat. And the quality is just phenomenal.
Have you found any photos that were really surprising? Like when you actually were able to?
Well, yeah, I've had some photos that turned out to be from morgues and autopsies and that, and they went, oh, geez, I spent all afternoon putting this thing.
Right.
So, and we avoid all that stuff here, same as we don't have pictures. The only one we have of Evelyn Dick, because she's so famous here in the city from the murder and all that. But we don't have any bike gangs. We don't have any mafia stuff. We could fill this place with all that stuff. And this is for specifically for police officers. And we get a lot of kids go through here. We tell them about, because fortunately for me, I worked 33 years as a police officer, so I can give them some background on what it's like to be a police officer, when some of the things are not too good. And some of them can make up their mind whether they really want to become a police officer. And I've had kids come back here and say, oh, can I ask you some more questions? This is some of our old equipment. These were fender lights that were on the cruisers.
Right.
And if you look at that picture later on, you can see the fender light on our Studebaker. This was a car counter. There was a tube that ran across the road,
Right.
and it would count cars. That's as simple as that. This is our lie detector.
Now that looks very interesting.
It is.
Have you tried it on yourself?
Well, when I was a child abuse investigator, and I have to, the pedophiles and all that kind of crap, and I don't know how this thing works.
Right.
But it's really interesting to hook a guy up and just watch the needle, and you say,
Right.
okay, can you tell me about this and this? And you see the needle go up.
Right.
You're lying. Tell me the truth right now. I want to know. Get this off of your chest.
Right.
Jesus Christ. You've lived too long with that guilt. I'd say, come on.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Okay, was that something you did with your foot then?
No, but
I'm just kidding.
no, but it worked. This is the most stupid thing the police department ever had.
Okay, tell me what this.
This is to test your brakes in your car.
Okay.
You were supposed to take this if somebody said, oh, I hit that pole because my brakes didn't work. Well, you were supposed to go with the guy, get in the passenger seat, put your one foot and the other foot over there, and have him drive down the road and jam on his brakes. And all these numbers would appear, would tell you how good the brakes were. It actually works, but I said to my sergeant, wait a minute, this guy said his brakes don't work. You want me to get in the car and see if this thing works?
Right. Well, what year would that have been used in?
Oh, well, we
Like
we
in
were
the
still
40s
using
or
them when
50s?
I got on, and that was in '75. So
Okay.
yeah, but
Interesting.
After that, it's like nobody wanted to do it anymore.
Right.
So this is some of the breathalyzers. This and this here, and these were just come out when I retired. They've got real small. So like before we had the alerts, they were this big,
Right.
and so I don't know what they have now, but I'm
Where did
sure
you put all
they
this
will.
equipment? You carry it around with you in the back of your car?
Well, if you were
or-
assigned to a ride lane, you would take that equipment, you put it in the car, and that
Right.
was, you had to stand on the street pulling cars over, so you needed it, equipment. Same as this. This is the old radar. As you'll notice, it's in miles per hour, not kilometers. That's how old this thing is. But it was still, when I joined, it was still miles per hour. You used to hold on to this or clip it to the side of the window, and as the car would run up, you jump out in front of them, go like this, and hope that he stopped.
Yeah.
And most people did, you know.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't think I ever had an occasion where I had to jump out of the way. Not that I'd stand in front of the car anyway.
Sure.
But
You'd have to be careful.
Yeah, that's how things worked. So this is the car I was talking about. This 64 Studebaker is still running. We take it away. And matter of fact, this Sunday I'm taking it to the North American Studebaker Club.
And where's that?
And it's going to be held, well, it's always in Hamilton. This year it's going to be at the Steam Museum.
Oh, okay.
So, and you get all
the Steam
these,
Museum, is that the one in Milton? Or
No,
there's one over here too? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and it's amazing how they have all these Studebakers from all the years, and the cars are just phenomenal. And all these Studebaker owners want to see the police car because this was made in Hamilton.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, we had a Studebaker company. Even the tires were made at the Firestone company. So that's a complete Hamilton car.
Okay.
So, we're quite proud of taking that around. Now it's on its last legs. And we're hoping I'm trying to get a citizens group together to see if we can get it repaired. Because we just had the brakes done. So
I imagine even finding parts might be difficult.
Oh, well, you know what? It's funny. It's somewhere that club will find a piece. Now it might take a while, but we had to get an alternator, and it's a solenoid alternator. I don't know what the difference is with all that stuff, but it took a while, but they got one.
Oh, awesome!
And we were, because this died, we were in the cactus parade, and it died, so we had to push it
in the middle of the parade.
Yeah. But we also have a 65 bomb truck.
Okay.
Original, the explosive truck, and I drive that around too in the parade. So we got the two cars. We're trying to get the chief to okay a 2008 car. That was, but for some reason or other, they can't find money for it. So
right. Well, it is interesting.
Still have the car.
It's interesting in the sense that even 20 years ago, you don't think of that as being history just yet. But in an additional 20 years, it becomes such.
As you can see, some of the motorcycle helmets from the different years. And there's even a new model now beyond that.
Yeah.
So but before they had helmets that were regulation. Police officers were running around with their motorcycles with just their hats,
crazy
regular hats.
Crazy when you think about it today.
Whoa. Yeah. Here in this room. Strange enough, this used to be my office, but we needed room. That we dedicated this to the communications because a lot of stuff is done through communications, right? Mm-hmm. So we made sure that we honored the people that worked there. It used to be just police officers that worked in it. Now it's all civilians. This was our very first cell phone. Now, as a rookie, I was asked to go to a scene.
Okay.
Stand by with this radio, this cell phone in case anybody called. And it's heavy, and the antenna we can't find one to fit in.
Right.
But it used to be about 20 feet long. So I really don't know what frequency this uses, but that's our first one. This is a one that used to be in the radio room. Now it's called the communications, of course. These are the different kinds of radios. When I first walked the beat here in the city, I didn't have a radio. So, you had to be a negotiator.
Right.
Or tough.
And if you got into a serious situation, how did you call other...
You couldn't call anybody. You just hoped that somebody called, used the phone or...
Right. And call it in.
Those days, though, the guys that were riding cab, they would call in, and so that, or a bus driver would come up with a big bus. Hey, there's a fight down the end of the corner. And that's the first time they've ever been able to drive 80 miles an hour through the city. And you're hanging on for dear life while he's bringing you to this fight. But and the people were pretty good, like they are still today. They're helpful. Different kinds of microphones.
Desk microphones, sure.
That have changed over the years. Now I don't see the foot pedal here, but everybody had to work in the radio at one time or another, right?
Right.
And the great thing was you had this phone, and the phone would be sitting in your neck, and then at the end of the shift you'd be going, oh my, So then they come up with a foot pedal. That was heaven. Oh, yeah, go ahead, You could write, you didn't have to, have this thing fall off your ear or
Right.
anything. Yeah, but who knew that'd be a giant invention, These are some of the car radios that we had in the cars. And you can see that things have progressed incredibly fast. We used to only have this was six channels, and you had a dedicated channel for your area, and then you had another channel to go to the other areas, and then you had a provincial channel that allowed you to talk to wherever. If you're going to London, you just drive down and, hey, London, we got a prisoner we're going to pick up. Give me directions, please.
Right.
So you had that. And of course, if there was a major disaster someplace,
Talk to each other.
That.
Yep.
This was our first computer in the car. That was a recent addition. This was a negotiator's kit where they'd hook up the wires into the person's house so you could communicate with them and stuff. It was very helpful.
Yep.
This is our treasure, absolute treasure.
Wow.
This is a call box.
Number 51.
Yeah. And up until about the early 70s, some of these were still on the street. Wow. Yeah, this is one of our treasures. It's very, very heavy. Actually, I think it's about 300 pounds. It takes quite a few guys to lift it. But in the days, this was, as you can see, 1896 was the last time this was used. That was at Sherman and Main Streets. But we had other call boxes that we had on the streets that we had to call in if you needed somebody, or if the sergeant was trying to figure out where the hell you were. You had to be at a certain time point. Marion Barton is a good example. You had to be there. You worked night shift. You're walking to beat 9:15. You had to be at that phone. And if you weren't at that phone, and then the sergeants would come out looking for you, make sure you're okay. Now, if you wanted to phone, and usually it was your light was on or your bell was on, and that indicates that they were looking for you. This would work: if you needed a patrol wagon, you just sit this right there. Now, this wasn't a telephone like a normal telephone. You had to charge it up. There's a dynamo in it.
Okay.
You had to wait and so long, and to go to the dispatcher. Oh, yeah. Could you send me a wagon to such and such an address, right? So, or if you wanted number 1 area is downtown, number 2 area is the East End, 3 is the mountain. So if you wanted get the wagon from the East End, you say, you'd use that and phone it. So that's basically how it worked. And it was successful. So
wow.
This is
history of the Hamilton Police. And so tell me what you've got in this room.
okay. First of all, this the old police station.
Yeah.
That was at Marion King William. This came out of the cells, so we kept the cell door. Matter of fact, we still have more pieces, and we lost an appeal with the Heritage because we were going to get and put them in every door.
Okay.
So if you came in to the room 1, we'd have to unlock it for you and stuff like that. But they wouldn't allow us to renovate that kind of stuff. So we had to look after it. It's not our house, not the police department's house. It's the city's house.
So it belongs to the actual building belongs to Hamilton.
Yes, not to us.
Okay. Not to the, I guess.
So, so as you can see, we put some stuff here. It's original door. I don't know how you'd ever break that door. It'd take forever with a hacksaw because this is all cast iron. I mean, there's the ball and chain that we were talking about with Louis Riel.
And so that's what they had them strapped into.
Yep, and that's another ankle device, and that's pretty heavy too. It weighs about 40 pounds. So I don't think you'd be running away with that.
Not very fast.
So this is these wallpaper are from pictures, and there's a place on Wellington Street that did this for us, and they put it in, and it wasn't too much money, but the effect is really good.
It did a nice job.
That's from an old picture, so. Here, this is Police Chief Watley. And ironically, his two daughters were teachers when I was going to school. They taught me, and they were always talking about their dad. Now, I don't think that influenced me to become a police officer,
right?
But it's ironic that
coincidental, and amazing.
And as you can see, these are little bits and pieces. These are some of the old keys that we had. A taser that, and I have newer ones now, but these are the tasers I certainly used when I was on. Little badges, wallet badges, and even when you retire, they give you a badge. Now, that's not happening now anymore.
How come?
Money.
It's just budget.
Different kinds of whistles they've used over the years. And that's what you'd have to be blowing real hard if you got in trouble when you didn't have a radio. It's an oil lamp. I can't imagine walking in a dark alley with a wick that's lit with oil. Hello. Mm-hmm. But I mean, in the day, these are different kinds of flashlights. But they issued these flashlights that had the magnets on it. And the nice thing was you could put it on top of the car and shine, right in your book until the guy drove away with your flashlight. Is your car around?
Well, at least it wasn't coming off,
Yeah, so these are some of the uniforms. When I first got on, well, this is what they call number one. They still wear these for ceremony purposes, graduation.
Did you start with the Hamilton Wentworth department?
I'm sorry?
Did you start with Hamilton Wentworth?
Yeah. So, but this is how we went out. And it didn't matter what the weather. That's how you dressed. You had to have a tie and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. When I started, there was no short sleeves. That was a big thing, short sleeves. Oh, wow. So over the years, the tie's gone, that kind of stuff. And, the uniforms are different. You can tell by the stripe on the side that this is a constable's uniform. If it was anywhere from a sergeant and up, it'd be a black stripe that, matches the pants. Mm-hmm. Which leads you into a very interesting thing. See the red?
The red band,
now, yep. You know why it's red?
I have no idea.
Oh, here's the history of it. I was on the committee to change the uniform. They get the black shirts and all the different kinds of jackets and all that. And we found a nice short Stetson. It was beautiful. Had the thing on the front, tassels there. Oh, great. We thought, because we always have problem for guys not wearing their hats.
Okay.
We figured if we get these hats, everybody will be wearing them, right? So just about get them, and the Ontario government comes out and says, wait a minute, no. We've changed the rules. Municipal police officers and regional police officers all have red, and they're sworn members. If you're a special constable, you'd have a black stripe, auxiliary officer, a black stripe, so that
I guess in the OPP had
as blue.
A blue stripe, right?
Yeah. the theory behind that is, which was remarkable, and I thought, boy, that's a genius to thought that up. If I go to a major event, say there's a plane crash up on Clapson's Corners, well, it's close enough that Halton, Guelph Police, OPP, us, maybe Brantford even, could amalgamate to work at that scene. I could walk out immediately, know I don't have to go, because Hamilton's one of the few that wear a badge.
Mm-hmm.
And look and say, oh, can you, what are you? Are you no, I can walk up and say, I know this guy can take statements, protect evidence and so forth. The black hat that might be riding with him in the car, you can direct traffic, you can look after it. So it's brilliant.
Do you know if they do that in other provinces then as well?
I have no idea.
Oh, we'll have to check that out.
We do that because, of course, the OPP are blue,
Sure,
and blue stripes, and if you see a Mountie in a working uniform, it's yellow. So, but I haven't seen one now. When I went to Ottawa to advanced investigators course, there was all sorts of guys with yellow ones, but you don't find them too often. So. Now this is some of the progressions. As you notice, 1880s, there's no gun. As a matter of fact, in 1925, there was an officer that brought a gun to work, and he got fired.
You're kidding?
No. So because there are no guns, I mean, like we were like the British.
Well, what were the laws for the civilians back then too? Were they allowed to arm themselves?
I'm sure there was the gun laws, but the thing was, this guy figured, well, I need a gun at work, and probably didn't get permission and all that, and a bit of a rogue and whatever. So, but as you can see, from the 1940s on, there's guns, different kinds of guns, like this 38, and now we have the Glocks.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have we have decommissioned ones for here, but they're all locked up.
Right.
And I'm not one for guns anyway, so
Yep.
I'd say that's fine. If you need them out here, get them. I don't want anything to do with them, quite frankly. A bomb suit. Original bomb suit.
I hope you didn't have to use that too often.
No. And they're quite hefty. As you can see, the different kinds of winter hats. The old beaver, the pointy one.
Right.
Yeah. And now they have toques. This was quite the thing when I was still working. We got these. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember those.
We keep warm. I wore earmuffs one time walking the beat. I come in the station and they said, "What the hell are those? Did we give them to you?" No, it's cold out. And I lost 4 hours pay.
Oh.
It wasn't issued equipment. So
Oh man.
but those are the old days.
Sure.
These are the different kind of badges for all the different people that worked in the region, or the county of Wentworth, before it was Hamilton Wentworth. So we have now there's all the shoulder flashes from the different police departments that amalgamated into Hamilton Wentworth. This was a federal police department, Hamilton Harbor, and they were taken over by Hamilton. So they became.
Was that prior to the Wentworth amalgamation, or?
No. That
Was it around the same
That
time?
was still in my time, because when I was working downtown, I was the liaison between our department and the harbor police. I just go down there and say, okay,
Yeah.
we got missing cars and, whatever. The new law just came out. Are you guys aware of it?
Mm-hmm.
So, but they knew everything about sailing. I didn't. Now this is interesting. These are the different kinds. When I first started, you had a billy, some people call them billy bats, some people call them truncheons, some people call them, all sorts of things. So what we had was in our uniform pants, we had a sleeve in the like behind your first pocket, and you'd slip that down the sleeve, and you'd have it there. And I always made sure this was hanging out so people knew you had one.
Sure.
And that's how you walked out, you know, on the beat. And if you needed it, there you were.
Yeah.
Now, we went to these. This is an Oriental type of thing. Japanese, you know, martial arts and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, we had to learn how to, you know, going back and forth and, you know, learn how to use it and everything. And they weren't very practical because, first of all, it's not in your pocket. Second of all, as you're running, the damn thing is flying all around like this.
Right.
And so most guys just left them in the car, right? Well, the heat made these bend all over the place. We could, in training, you'd have hockey sticks, you smash into hockey sticks, and oh yeah, man, that's really good. Well, I was at a call one time in the middle of winter, and these people come after us with shovels and everything. It was a big riot that way down the East End, and I'm confident I've got this thing. I'm waiting.
Okay.
Come on. And I went wham and hit this shovel, and it broke in little pieces.
Oh man.
And I was left with just the handle. And I'm looking around, like, oh boy, we'll be in trouble. Everybody started laughing. And thankfully, so did I. And but yeah. So
okay.
You know, I wrote a big, round, long report and said they're useless. These are what we used to. We had crowd control. Some people say riot, but crowd control. And you know, you're walking down the street with this, and you know, people give you some respect. This here is an interesting one, right here. This could be used as a billy, but it also, you could use it as a gas canister, as you can see right here.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, it's a gas, and then you know
You can fill it with a gas inside.
It's like tear gas.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just you open this up, then you put it in there, and then there's your trigger. And we had a sing song here one time, and with the choir, and the police chief standing there, and the Channel 11 was here. Taking a film. So they said, oh, what's this? So I said, oh, this. And I walked up to the chief and I said, you know, and we thought this was like a stun gun. Mm-hmm. Obviously it wasn't. We didn't know. So, and I walked up to one like that. So, and about an hour after I got home, somebody phoned me and says, you know what you just did? I said, no, what? And then they told me, I said, no shit. So they found this and they sent it to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I was told by other guys before me. This, of course, was undercover Billy. Made in Hamilton at Konecki's that made all the NHL goalie pads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very famous store.
So they made these for us. And you could just put it up your sleeve so they don't see it. Put it in your back pocket. They don't see it.
Right.
It's a spring. And there's BBs on the end. And boy, it hurts. So
that would do the trick.
This one officially I call it truncheon because it's from England. It's got the crown on there and everything. And
it's quite
crown
something,
jewels.
isn't it?
So as you can see, this is quite the piece of work.
Is there many of those around these days?
I have no idea. We have this.
Yeah.
That's it. Now that might have been given to us sometime way back when that I don't know about, but that's really neat. This, of course, is the female, how they used to go out. Notice, skirt, high heels. Different kind. Oh, they don't have the female. The how they started. Oh, she has one right there. They look like stewardesses. So, you know, women in policing, but they went out They did what the men had to do. They could chase down robbers and everything else and tackle them and all in a skirt. Their gun was in the purse. They didn't wear a belt. So everything they needed was in the purse.
And that must have caused some safety issues then too.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why we got rid of the crash straps, because some guy could grab you from the back, and so over the years, the things improved. So, and then our hero, we all knew this guy, Lincoln Alexander, Lieutenant Governor, and he was amazing. He could remember who you were. Like of all the police guys, he knew. And my mother, when we first became Canadian citizens, my mother canvassed for him, and he was the first black MP in Canada. So, after we finish this, I'll show you some other stuff. This was our ceremonial sword when we were Hamilton Wentworth. It's got all the stations, the Stony Creek, Ancaster, and so forth on there.
I don't know if my video is going to do it justice, but
yeah, I might have.
I see what you mean.
Might have one downstairs that I can show you.
That is pretty
Real
cool.
Close. So that was our ceremonial sword. Now there's no ceremonial sword. So, anyway, that's how it works.
Many thanks to Peter for all the time that he took to show me around the museum and everything. So again, thanks Peter. Talk to you soon.